welcome to Nicole's Needlework. Today is Saturday and it is April 4th and it's right around 10:30 a.m. For those of you new here, this is a podcast about stitching and knitting, mainly stitching. I do have some knitting to share today. And this is my cat Ginger. She is about 7 years old now. I do have another cat, Oreo, but she is not the type of cat that will let you hold her. But, I mean, she will, but only on her terms. Sometimes she does reach up to me to have me pick her up, and then she licks my face. I don't know. She's a funny cat. She's definitely not a cat that would let you hold her like this, like Ginger would let me hold her all day long, and she's purring. Oreo would be fighting me. And Oreo I've had, I think, she's about 8 years old now, and I got her when she was a kitten. And Ginger I got when she was about a year old. And she had already actually had kittens herself. I'm going to stick her in her bed here. Let me see. Well, there we go. Someone asked me how I got Ginger, and we were at Petco. I don't know why. We were just looking around, and we were looking at the kittens, and she was below because they're stacked, the cages, and she just kind of popped her head up and looked at me, and we left the kittens and fell like instantly in love with her. She was so sweet. So I almost got her right then and there. And I thought, no, I better, let me be responsible, go home, talk it over with my husband. So he said I should go to the animal shelter and look at other cats. Because I really didn't want a kitten. I wanted a cat. And so I did. I went and looked at the other cats at the shelter. And the second one I picked up bit me on the cheek. And I was like, you know what, let's go get Ginger. I donated $20 and went and got Ginger, and I'm so happy I did. She's a really sweet cat. Oreo's sweet too, just in her own way. She's very independent. At night, Oreo sleeps downstairs in a cat bed by the window, almost like she's guarding the house, and Ginger sleeps right by me. So they're funny. So I hope you all are doing well. I hope you are staying safe and staying home and washing your hands. Look, it looks like I've been in a fight, but no, that's just from washing my hands. I really hate lotion. I hate the way it makes my hands feel, but I need to put it on more. But enough of that. Let's see. So Saturday, last weekend, I did, my hair is like sticking up. Last weekend, I decided to start something new, and I told Matthew, I posted that on Instagram, that I told him maybe I'll just start something new every week and while all this is going on. And he said, how is that any different from any other time? And I was like, you're right, Matthew. But it would be fun, right? So I just decided to start Manor at Quaker Hill by Brenda Gervais. I don't know where that came from. Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. It's so pretty. And I am stitching it on 40 Count Legacy by Picture This Plus. And I just have just a little bit. I just worked on this a couple days. Sunday, the day after I did my video, I went up to see my son Bradley in Columbia. He is staying in his house up there that he's renting with other friends. His friends have actually gone home, but he's there alone. So I kind of wanted to check on him, and Matthew wanted a couple of video games that Bradley had. So I thought, well, that's a good excuse. I'll get the video games and see Bradley, see how he's doing. And I think he takes after me a lot because he's perfectly happy being there alone. We're both very much introverts, so So, like I said, I haven't really had any complaints during this time. I'm enjoying working from home. I just like being home. And so anyway, so I went to Columbia, and on the way back, I picked up an order from Fire Poppies. I just kind of ran in and grabbed it because this is, what is this thread? Harvest Basket by Gentle Arts. And the Harvest Basket I had was kind of like a beige. It was not yellow at all. And so when I started stitching this flower, it didn't look like the picture at all. So I figured the dye lots had changed. So I put that in my order for Fire Poppies to get the more yellow dye lot of Harvest Basket. But there's the threads with the 40 count Legacy, which I like. I kept going back and forth to 36 or 40, but I'm glad I went with the 40. So, and then for most of the week, I worked on Consider the Lilies by Heartstring Samplery. And this is where I'm at now. And I'm kind of right in the middle of stitching that moth down there. But I'm having so much fun stitching this. I'm really loving it. And I was a little worried that how the white would show up on here, but I think it's okay. I mean, I think it'll be okay. I actually ended up using, because my roasted marshmallow has a lot of cream in it, so I actually ended up using bamboo, which is really more of just a white. It's almost like 3865 DMC. So I think that'll show up a little more. But here's the threads. They're so pretty. So springy, so bright and cheery. This has just been the perfect design to work on during this time. I really am loving it. And this is the 40 count Dusty Road that I got at Fire Poppies. I think she's still taking pre-orders for this. This is by Seraphim Fabrics, or Seraphim Hand Dyed Fabrics by Lori. I believe she also has a website, but I'm loving it so much. So I've been listening to podcasts or listening to audiobooks. I'm kind of in a book slump. If anyone has some good suggestions for some good audiobooks or, books, put them in the comments because I'm kind of in a slump. I need some good ideas. I don't know. I've been trying to listen. What was it? It was Discovery of Witches, and it's pretty good. It just kind of is dragging on and on a little bit, and I just kind of need something that will like grab me and keep my attention. I started listening to Stay Sexy, Don't Get Murdered from the My Favorite Murder podcast, and that's been pretty good so far. Anyway, yeah, I'm kind of in a book slump. I need something good. So when I also in my Fire Poppies package, where is it? I decided to order this. So I watched Kitten Stitcher's video last week, and it was so good to see Tanya on the video explaining the backstory of this, why they decided to stitch this. It's pretty neat. And so seeing the models at market that Kitten Stitcher did videos of, it just made me want to get it. So I personally love stitching fruit baskets or berry bowls. So this is Berry Bull Sampler, and it's a collaboration between Heartstring Samplery and the Scarlet House. And I got a couple threads for this. I'm not sure about fabric, so while I was there, I know I said I ran in and grabbed my package, but I may have looked at the fabric a little bit, but I also made sure to stay, you know, I didn't get near Susan, so we tried to keep our distance, and her shop is actually closing Monday to the public, so she's just going to be doing mail order from now on. So anyway, I did get a piece of linen. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. So after seeing Emily C's video, she showed a piece of the new fawn by Picture This Plus. So I ended up getting a piece of this 36 count. It was already cut and ready to go. It's really pretty. It's just like pretty beige brown. So I kind of thought about stitching this on one piece of linen on the 36 count fawn. I think that would be really pretty. And I had the threads pulled. I ended up putting them away for now. But maybe a future start. Knitting, I have been working on my Huhui shawl by Joji Locatelli. Try not to mess that up. And so I got all the white, it's done. I'm at the point where I can join my second color. I just got there last night. And this will be the second color I'm adding. This is Celadon by Madeline Tosh Marina Light. So I'm going to be adding that to that, and there's stripes, and then I think more of this like mesh lace, and then this is going to be my third color. So that's the main knitting I worked on this week. And then Helen Stewart of the Curious Handmade podcast put out, so Helen Stewart of Curious Handmade podcast has a throw called Habitation Throw, and it basically uses scraps. This is not a good picture. I will insert a picture here. And she made it free for during this time, or you can buy it and all the proceeds will go to, I forget the charity, she said, all the proceeds, UN Refugee Agency. So I put some yarn in a bag, just like different colors that I thought might go together. These have already been wound. I've used some of them for other projects. So there's just a bunch of different skeins of yarn. So I just started, and it's basically, if you've ever knit one of those washcloths where you start at one corner, go wide, and then you decrease, that's kind of how it is, but it's a throw. So I just decided to cast that on with some scraps, and I'll be getting ready to add some more colors to it. So I thought it would just be a fun, simple project to work on. And these are, what size are these? I think these are size 6 Chow Goose. And the other shawl was size 4, US 4 or 3.5, and this is 4mm. So I thought that would be just a fun project to work on. And then I saw another shawl I really want to do, and I will insert a picture of that here. And it's also by Helen Stewart, and I actually did start it a a little while ago, but I ended up taking it out. I was using a cotton gradient yarn, and I don't know, the cotton, it was just really hard on my hands, so I ended up ripping it out. But the name of it is, anyway, I'll post a picture of it here. And someone did it, it's a lace weight shawl, and someone did it in this Astrid Gray, and this is Prairie by Madeline Tosh. It's a lace weight yarn. It was beautiful. I actually have 2 skeins of this, so I was going to use it for something bigger, but I think I might just use the one on that shawl because it is gorgeous. Yeah, I'm really having a hard time not starting it right away. So, and speaking of yarn, I sent out the giveaway and then got a package in the mail from the person I sent out the giveaway to, and she sent me 2 skeins of yarn, which was so sweet of her. This is Lorna's Laces, one of my favorite sock yarns, and it is called Cozumel. So pretty, I love it. And then this one, she said, was hand dyed by her friend, and it's Abacus Dye Works, and it's a one-of-a-kind skein. So really cool. So thank you so much. She also sent me a very, very sweet card, and it was not necessary for you to send me something back. I enjoy doing giveaways and giving back to the community. My order from Stitch and Frame Shop, and it was basically a fat quarter of vintage light exemplar for Jane Cowie. So I took out my fat half and put in the fat quarter in here with the threads. So, love this sampler. And then also from Stitch and Frame, I got Token of Love. And I accidentally ordered 25 count Lugana, mushroom Lugana, and I needed 28 count. So I got that from Fire Poppies. And here are just some of the threads for this. Love this. And then I was talking to my friend Faye Rigsby. She's Carolina Stitcher. She does beautiful finishing. And I was asking her about the designs in the book. About this, I wanted to see if it would be possible, because it calls for 32. Stop. Ginger. Wanted to see if it would be possible to do it on 36, if she could still do the finishing, and she said yes. So, and the bag and everything. So it calls, like I said, it calls for 32. But I have a piece of 36 count that would be perfect for it in my stash already. So this is 36 count Legacy. It's already had this fat half, which would work great. So I ordered from Fire Poppies on Thursday. I ordered some of the threads I was needing, and so those came. So I just kitted up, or not kitted up, I got all the threads together for the designs in the book that I wanted to stitch, and I plan to use this 36 count for a lot of them. So I ordered that on Thursday from Fire Poppies. Thursday afternoon, it got here Friday afternoon. So talk about quick service. That was amazing. Thank you so much, Susan. If you need anything quickly, Fire Poppies is a great place to order from. So I also decided, since I couldn't just order a few threads, I also decided to get the Salt Box Quilt Sampler. And I got some threads I was needing for that. And I pulled some linen from my stash. Oops. This is just a fat eighth of straw flower by Lakeside that I got at the Stitch and Frame shop a while ago. And I don't have these on a ring yet, but it's so pretty. I have a picture. I'll post a picture of what the threads look like. So that's a little hard to see. Let's see, I think that might be it. I'm not sure if I showed this. This is Martha S. Scott, and I've had this for a while. And a while back, Brenda and Laura were showing Laura's start on this, or her progress on this. And so I ended up kitting it up. And this is a fat eighth of 40 count vintage light exemplar that I had in my stash already that I was thinking of using. It calls for a lot of threads for a little design, but that's another one I'd like to add it to the giant list of things I want to start now. Oh. So, I don't know if you guys remember the Gift of Stitching magazine from a long time ago. My friend Tanya, Sampler Girl, has had a pattern in there. And it's a Jane Austen quote, and it says, "There's nothing like staying home for real comfort." And I thought that was perfect for what we're going through right now. So I thought about maybe starting that one. Oh. So, speaking of Brenda and Laura, I was watching their video last week, which was great. I'm so glad they found a way to do videos together. But Brenda showed this on her video. And this is an old Just Nan kit. It came from Silver Needle, which if she hadn't said that, I wouldn't have remembered that. And she had hers professionally finished. I did mine myself. And it's okay. But as you can see, 2004. That's what hers was too. It's so funny. It's not bad. I mean, it's okay. Like here, it got a little wonky. But for someone who's not a finisher, I'm assuming the instructions were really good. And this must have interfacing or something in it. So, but I was trying to think of where I was in 2004, and I was living in Cartersville, Georgia, or near Cartersville, Georgia. Was I? Yeah, and I was working at Publix. I'm trying to think. I was working at Publix. I was working part-time. I worked in the cash office and the front office. And Jake would have been 2 or almost 2, and Bradley would have been 4. Hadn't had Matthew yet. My husband was, he was a police officer then, so he was on patrol. Yeah, it's funny to look back and think about what you were doing at different times in your life. So I think that is definitely it now. Stay safe out there, wash your hands, stay home if you can. My heart goes out to all the first responders, doctors, nurses who are out there every day saving lives and trying to protect us. I appreciate you guys so much, more than you know. And I will talk to you guys later. Stay safe.